Okay, so each person living in a city speaks exactly one language among 6 different languages. Okay, each person living in a certain city, speaks exactly one language among 6 different languages: English, Hindi, Malayalam, Tamil, Telugu, Marathi. Okay, the first pie chart gives the number of persons in the city who speaks each language at the beginning of 2010. First of all, everybody can see my screen, right? Everyone can see my screen. Shurto, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see.
The first pie chart below gives the number of persons in the city who speak each language at the beginning of 2010. The second pie chart gives the exact percentage breakup of the number of persons who speak each language at the beginning of 2015. Okay, it is known that between 2010 and 2015, no person learned to speak another language. Note this statements what it is saying. It is known that between 2010 and 2015, no person learned to speak another language. Okay, so it is not like from 2010 to 2015 you can see that there are some percentage increase in the population. That is not because of any person in 2010 who used to learn, who used to speak English has learned to speak Marathi. It is not because of that. So no person has learned to speak any language. Okay, but still there is change in the population. Why? Because and there were no birth or deaths in the city. Yes, so in these 5 years no birth or death has occurred. Okay, so if there is increase in population, if there is increase in population in any of the languages, it is because of people who have moved into the city, or it is because of people who have moved out from the city. Okay, so remember these two pie charts do not represent two cities, they are one city only. So when people are moving into the city, that means they're moving from outside into the city from other cities. Okay, and when people are moving out from the city, that means they're moving from this city to some other city. Okay, so what is the what is the information we got? We got that between 2010 to 2015 there were no birth or deaths. Okay, between 2010 to 2015 there were no birth or deaths. No people, no person learned to speak any other language. So whatever languages a particular set of people spoke in 2010, that same set of people spoke the same set of languages in 2015. Okay, acha. No, uh, but still there is difference in population. Why there is difference in population? The difference in population is because of people moving in and out of the city. Okay, the difference in population is because of people moving in and out of the city. The second pie chart gives the exact percentage breakup of the number of persons who speak each language at the beginning of 2015. It is known that between 2010 and 2015, no person learned to speak another language and there were no births or deaths in the city. However, some persons in the city might have moved out of the city, and some persons from outside the city might have moved into the city. Okay, so what it is telling, some persons in the city might have moved out of the city and some persons from outside the city might have moved into the city. Each person who moved into the city speaks exactly one of the 6 languages. So what does it mean? That means if there is any new person, if there is a new person who moved into the city, then that person speaks exactly one of the 6 languages. Okay, okay, fine. Now let us come to the first statement. First question: if the number of persons who speak Hindi remain the same, okay, if the number of persons who speak Hindi remain the same during the given period, what is the minimum number of persons who have moved out of the city? So it is given that between these 2010 and 2015, the number of people who spoke Hindi remained the same. So how many people? So in 2010, how many people spoke Hindi? Tell me. In 2010, from this pie chart, how many people spoke Hindi?
3,500.
Yes, 3,500, right? And in 2015, 2015, how many, what is the percentage of people who speak Hindi? 20%. So in 2015, how many persons spoke Hindi? 20%. 20% of what? 20% of the total population in 2015, right? So what is the total population? X, right? What is the total population? X. So how many people spoke Hindi? 20% of X, right? How many people spoke Hindi? 20% of X. That is equals to what? 3,500. Okay, so that is 3,500 into 100 by 20. So that gets cancelled out. How much do I get? I get 17500. This is the total population in 2015. This is the total population in 2015. All right, now it is given, you see that what is the minimum number of persons who have moved out of the city. Okay, so now we have to make a chart. We have no other options. 2010, 2015, and how many people moved out. Okay, how many people moved out? So in 2010, let us start with, say, Marathi. Okay, let us start, next is English, next is Hindi, next is Malayalam. Okay, next is Tamil, uh, next is Telugu, right? Now in 2010, what, how many Marathis are there? 2000, 1500, 3500. Malayalam is 2000. Okay, Tamil is 2500. Telugu is 3000. Okay, in 2015 I got the total population is 17500, right? So what is, how many Marathi is there? 20%. 20% of this, right? So that is going to be 20% of, okay, 3500, right? Please tell me, how, what is the population of English people? 25%. Do 25% of this thing and tell me the answer, please. Do 25% of 17500 and tell me how many English speaking people are there in 2015.
4375.
4375. Everybody got the same thing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Hindi speaking people, Hindi is, you can see it is 20%. So 20% of 17500, please tell me.
3,500.
3500. Okay, Malayalam, 2000 people are there in 2010. In 2015 it is 20%. So again 20% of 1750 is, I think, similar to Hindi only, right? So 3500.
Yes.
Okay, Tamil people 10%. 10% of this is going to be 1750. So we don't have to calculate. Telugu speaking people is again 10%. So that is again 1750. All right. Now tell me how many people have moved out. How many Marathi speaking people have moved out? How many Marathi speaking people have moved out?
1500.
No, it is zero. Nobody has moved out. You see, in 2010, number of Marathi people is 2000. In 2015, number of Marathi people is 3500. It has increased. Nobody has moved out. People have moved in, right? So moved out people is zero. Understood?
Okay, sir.
Sotto? Sottananda? Understood? বুঝতে পেরেছো?
Yeah.
Poroma, Ritama? Everyone understood?
Yes,
Quite
sir.
easy. Okay. How many English people have moved out?
0.
Zero.
0.
How many Hindi people have moved out? It is of course zero. How many Malayalam people have moved out? Zero. How many Tamil people have moved out? Calculate this. You see there is a decrease. Tell me what is the answer.
750, I guess.
I guess মানে ঠিক
Sir,
আছে।
just দেখে বলুন, calculate করতে।
3000 minus 1750. What is the difference? What? How many people have moved out?
1250.
1
125.
1250. So how many people have moved out? 7, 8, 9, 10, 2000 people have moved out. So the
2000.
answer for the first one is 2000. right? 2000. See, what is the common mistake that people make in this sum? I'll tell you. Can you tell me what is the common mistake that you can make in this sum? See, what the common
স্যার
mistake.
এইটা টোটাল করে নিলাম
uh,
2010 এরটা
hmm.
আর তারপরে 2015 এরটা
And
মাইনাস
then you
করে দেবো।
subtract. Yes, this is the common mistake that everybody does, Rachel. See, what people do, they will add up all the population in 2010 because it is very tantalizing data, right? We can see the exact value of the language, different language speaking population. So what they will do, they will just add all of them. It will come around 14500. Okay, which we will do in our next part. And in 2015 we have already got total population, so from the total population we will subtract 1750. I will get a 3000 answer and 0 marks. Okay, 3000 is the answer but marks is 0. So this is a common mistake. Okay, so don't do that because it is clearly asked how many people have moved out. So we have to calculate, we have to observe only those data in which there is decrease. Okay, now let us come to the next part. If no person has moved out of the city, see, observe this statement. If no persons have moved out of the city between 2010 and 2015, nobody has gone out. What is the minimum number of people who speak Malayalam that have moved into the city? Minimum number. These words are very critical. What is the minimum number of people who speak Malayalam that have moved, that must have moved into the city? Okay. So if no person moved out of the city between 2010 and 2015, so tell me what is the total population in 2010? Please calculate. What is the total population in 2010? I calculated it earlier. It is 14500. Okay, 14500. Now it is given that no person moved out of the city. Now please note one thing very important. Don't mix up question 1 with question 2 with question 1. You will say that okay, we already found out the total population in 2015, which is 17500. Then why shouldn't I just calculate 15%? So Malayalam is 15% in 2015, then why shouldn't I calculate 15% of 17500? I'll get total Malayalam population in 2015, and in 2000 I already have 2010, I already have 2000. I will just subtract. No, question number 2 is not at all related to question number 1. Question number 1 is independent. In question number 1, the condition that was given is the number of Hindi speaking people is same. So number of Hindi speaking people over here is 3500 and over here it is 20%. So 20% of the total population in 2015 is equal to Hindi speaking people. Okay, from there we got 17500. But in question number 2, the condition is different. If no person moved out of the city between 2010 and 2015, now let total population in 2015 be x. Okay, we don't know. Now can you tell me what can be the value of x? I mean in terms of inequality, like x is greater than or less than, what can be x? I mean x can be greater than or less than what? Given that no person moved out of the city between 2010 and 2015. So if no person moved out of the city between 2010 and 2015, then what can be the value of x, or what can be the minimum value of x?
14,500.
Yes. So that means what? X has to be greater than or equals to 14,500. Yes or no? Because it is given that no
Yes,
persons
sir.
moved out of the city, but persons may move into the city, right? Persons must have moved into the city, so x can be greater than or equals to 14500. Now let us again make this table. Okay, so I will cut it off. Okay, now see what is the total population x. Now let us take the values. Marathi 20% of x, so 20 x by 100, that means x by 5. So if x is greater than equals to 14500, that means what? In each of the, first of all let me calculate the put down the values. English is what, how many? 25%, so that is x by 4. Hindi is how many? 20%, so that is x by 5. Malayalam is how many? 15%, so that is 3x by 5. Tamil is how much? 10%, so that is x by 10. Telugu is 10%, so that is x by 10. Okay, now since it is given that no persons moved into the city, no persons moved out of the city, that means there can be people who moved into the city, right? So that means what can be the value of each of this individual thing? If the total population can be greater than equals to 14500, why? Because no people moved out of the city, but people might move into the city. So that means minimum, minimum value of x can be 14500. It can go beyond that, but the minimum value is 14500 because nobody moved out. Similarly, the minimum value of this
Yes.
x by 5 can be what? 2000, because the value the value of x by 5 is exactly is minimum 2000 because nobody moved out, but people might have moved in. So there can be more Marathi people who have moved in, so that is why greater than equals to 0, greater than equals to 2000. X by 4 greater than equals to 1500. Rachel, did you understand this part? What am I doing?
Yes, sir.
Parama, Sotto?
Yes, sir.
हाँ सर.
X by 5 is greater than equals to 3500. X by 5 greater than equals to 2000. X by 5 greater than equals to 2500. X by 10 greater than equals to 2500. X by 10 greater than equals to 3000. Now please tell me from here what is the value of x we get? We get x greater than equals to 10,000. What is the value of x we get? We get it 6000. What is the value of x we get? We get 17500. What is the value of x we get? We get 3333.33. Okay, what is the value of x we get? 25000. 30,000. Now x has to be greater than equals to 14500, that is given, that is what we got. X has to be greater than 10,000, x has to be greater than 6,000, x has to be greater than 17500, x has to be greater than 13,333, x has to be greater than 25,000, x has to be greater than 30,000. Now can you tell me that from these values which value of x should I take so that all of these conditions will be satisfied? Which value of x should I take so that all value of x will be satisfied, all the conditions will, all the inequalities will be satisfied?
6,000.
No. If I take x as 6000, how will this condition be satisfied? How will this condition be satisfied? If I take x as 6000, how will the first condition be satisfied? How will all the other conditions be satisfied? Because these conditions say that x has to be greater than 14,500, x has to be greater than 10,000, x has to be greater than 6,000. So if I take x as 30,000, which is this, then all my conditions are satisfied. See, 30,000 is greater than 14,500, 30,000 is greater than 10,000, 30,000 is greater than 6,000, 30,000 is greater than 17,500, 30,000 is greater than 13,333, 30,000 is greater than 25,000, 30,000 is greater than 30,000, greater than equals to 30,000. Yes or no? Did it satisfy or not? হ্যালো,
Yes, sir.
মেলা থেকে ভিড়ের মধ্যে কেউ হারিয়ে গেলে অনুসন্ধান অফিসে আসবে, ঠিক আছে?
স্যার মেলা কোথায় বসেছে?
ভিড়ের মধ্যে বলছি, পুজোতে ওখানে ভিড় আছে না, শোনা যাচ্ছিল না গলার আওয়াজ, ওই জন্য বললাম আর কি। হারিয়ে গেলে অনুসন্ধান অফিসে চলে আসবে। আচ্ছা, x equals to 30,000, x equals to 30,000. Okay, did you understand this thing? See, these are the critical parts of this sum. Rachel, Porma?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we have to find out how many Malayalam speaking people that must have moved into. So how many Malayalam people we have over here? 2000. So what is the Malayalam people in 2015? It is 3x by 15. So that means which x value should I take? I should take 30,000. That is 18,000. Here I made a mistake.
Sir, x এর ভ্যালু 30,000 হলো না কেন?
30,000 এ তো পুট করেছি, এই তো।
ও
Sorry, this will be 20,000. 3x by 20. This value is correct. 3x by 20. Now, so 3 into 30,000 by 20, that is 4,500 in 2015. Okay, so what is the difference? 2,500. So these many people moved into. This is the answer. Did everyone get the point? Get the question? Rachel, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's come to number 3. Okay, now let's come to question number 3. See, if no person moved out of the city, again same thing, between 2010 and 2015, what is the minimum number of people that have must moved into the city? Okay, what is the minimum number of people that must have moved into the city? See, here it is not asking. Okay, try to understand. Here it is not asking about any specific language speaking people. Here it is asking no person moved out of the city. What is the minimum number of people that must have moved into the city? Okay, so what is the minimum population we got? 30,000, right? Okay, so we can see Malayalam 1500 we can see. So what do we need to find out? What is the minimum number of people that must have moved into the city? So in 2015, so you can see what is the value of x, we have taken 30,000, right? So 30,000 by 5 is 6,000. Then see, this one we can directly do by subtracting the total values. Because see, question number 3 is has the same condition as question number 2, if no persons moved out of the city. So in question number 3 also we have if no persons moved out of the city, that means what, x is still greater than equals to 14,500 in 2015. So what is the total population we got? What is the total population we got? 30,000 in 2015, right? And what was the population in 2010? 14,500. So if we just subtract, we will get this answer 15,500. If you find out individual values like Marathi, English, Hindi, if you find out the individual values, okay, you will still get the same answer. I'll tell you why. you see we have taken x as 30,000, right? So each which is bigger than each of these values. So when you take x as 30,000, each of these values you will get more than 2,000, 1,500, 3,500, and then again you have to add all of them, right? Because how many people have moved out, you have to add the difference. Okay, so when you add the difference, you will get this only. So total population in 2015 is 30,000. That we have counted. We have got, this is the minimum population that came there in 2015. Minimum population. Okay, it is asked minimum only. What is the minimum number of people that must have moved out? So minimum population in 2015 is 30,000. Minimum population in 2010 is 14,500. Okay, so what is the difference? 15,500. This is the minimum population this is the minimum population who have uh, moved into the city. This is the minimum population who have moved into the city, right? We could have taken, see, x is greater than equals to 30,000. We have chosen this condition. We could have taken 40,000 also, 50,000 also. But why are we taking 30,000? Because we have to minimize, right, the minimum number of people who have moved into the city. That is why we are taking that value of minimum value of x. We are taking that minimum value of x which satisfies all of these conditions. Okay, did you understand question number 3? Please tell me.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's come to question number 4. If no person moved into the city. Okay, now see, if no person moved into the city between 2010 and 2015, that means just the opposite condition of question number 2 and 3. If no person moved into the city between 2010 and 2015, what is the minimum number of people that must have moved out of the city? Okay, no persons moved into. So can you tell me that if no persons moved into the city, the value of x will be greater than equals to something or less than equals to something? What will be the range of x if no people move into the city?
Less than or equal
So
to.
less than
Yes,
equals.
it is less than equals to 14,500. That's correct. Now we will do this same activity what we did over here, only the difference will be this sign will change into less than equals to. That means all we will have is that this thing only, but the sign will just reverse. So x is less than equals to 10,000, x is less than equals to 6,000, x is less than equals to 175,000, x is less than equals to x is less than equals to 25,000, x is less than equals to 30,000. Now you tell me that condition, okay, which satisfies all of them. Tell me which value of x should I take so that it satisfies all of them.
6,000.
Yes, correct. So if I take x as 6,000, this one, if I take x as 6,000, it satisfies each one of these conditions, all of them. 6,000 is less than equals to 14,500, 6,000 is less than 10,000, 6,000 is less than 6,000, 6,000 is less than 17,500, 6,000 is less than 13,333, 6,000 is less than 25,000, 6,000 is less than 30,000. Yes or no? If I take x equals to 6,000, you see it is just the opposite of what we are doing in question number 2. It is just the opposite of what we are doing in question number 2. Yes or no? Now we have got the total population in 2015 as 6,000, right? Now what is the question? If no persons moved into the city, what is the minimum number of people that must have moved out of the city? So total population in 2015 is 6,000. Total population in uh, total population in 2010 is how much? 14,500. So what is the difference? 14,500 minus 6,000 will give me 8,000. So 8,000 is the answer. Did you understand, all of you? Sorry, 8,500. 8,500. Everyone understood this?